Hi guys, it's me, SheilaTruelove, and today we have another Q&A question. And one of the question, well actually the main question is, how do I cure my heartbreak? How to get over a heartbreak? And I know I've made a couple, I don't know if you know that much about me because I haven't told you that much, but I am Trinidadian. My dad is from Liverpool. Well, actually, my dad was raised in Liverpool, England, and he is Trinidadian. You know, they say whatever your father is, that's what you pretty much are. So I guess that means I'm Trinidadian. And my dad was raised in Liverpool, England, as I stated already. And I met a fellow friend of mine who is a life coach. Can you believe it? His name is Matthew, and he's amazing. And, you know, I told you I recently went through a divorce, and we had an awesome discussion in terms of how to get over and cure a heartbreak. I think I've already introduced you to Derek and Trenton, and now I'd like to introduce you to Matthew because here we go again. Here we go again. He can say this better than I could ever. So, tune in, listen in, and we'll discuss it afterwards and tell me what you think.
It's Matthew. I want to talk today about heartbreak. The really tough thing about heartbreak is it's almost, obviously in order to feel heartbroken, in order to feel the pain of loss of somebody, we have to keep going back there in our mind. There are certain times when we tend to go back to that person in our mind more than others. So, for example, when we're not busy, our mind snaps back into a memory of that person, or the moment we feel we're not busy and therefore we're lonely, we feel a sense of loss, and then we think of the person who we wish we were with at that moment. Or, of course, when we're going to bed at night, when we're alone and we have time to think and process, that again is a time when at the end of a night we start thinking about that person. It may also be a time when something good is happening. That's the really scary part. It can happen when you are experiencing a beautiful scene, when you're looking at nature, when you are on holiday and you think, God, I wish I was sharing this with that particular person. So sometimes we have the association that when things are bad, that's when we'll get that's when we'll miss someone the most. But actually, we often miss someone the most when things are good.
Yeah.
When we're experiencing something that we know they would love, or we know we would love to share with them. Then I look at this, because you know me, I'm a strategist. I always like to think, well, what's the cure for certain problems? How do we get past these types of pain? How do we quickly move to a stronger place in our lives? And it occurred to me that the key isn't just distraction. Many people go straight for distraction activities when someone breaks up with them, they go straight to, how can I distract myself? What can I do? How many activities can I fill my day with? How many friends can I invite over every single night so that I don't get lonely and I don't even have time to think about this person? But if you've ever been heartbroken, you know that you can try and fill your day from morning till night with activities and people. But the moment you have time to think again, your brain will snap straight back to that person, that negative thought, that memory that makes your heart ache. You'll go straight back there. So distraction alone isn't a recipe for, or a remedy for curing that heartache. So what is? In any moment in my life where I've truly felt that sense of heartache over somebody, the thing that has helped me the most is making progress on a particular project or a piece of work, a life goal, or a cause that I'm interested in promoting. I want to make that distinction between distraction and progress. Distraction is a short-term solution to heartbreak. We drink, we eat, we may sleep with other people thinking that that will help distract us from the person that we really care about. We go out a lot, we spend as much time with friends as possible, we lose ourselves in our work for as long as possible. But these things don't always represent progress. If they only represent distraction, then there'll be a momentary relief from this person, but they won't be a long-term solution to moving on from this person. For example, if you go about the business of sleeping with other people so that you can get over this person, what you'll realize is it's distraction in the moment. But afterwards, if that person's not going to stick around, if you haven't actually found someone that you really like, if that person doesn't match up to your partner from before, that distraction will very quickly give way to an instant depression, an instant emotional hangover. So it doesn't help the situation, it just takes your mind off it. Progress, on the other hand, actually moves you past it. I want to encourage you, if you're heartbroken right now, I want to encourage you to think of what important things you can work on, you can invest in your life, that will give you a sense of achievement and fulfillment. Because if you feel that at the end of working hard on something important, you'll feel confident, which means when you feel confident, you feel ready to take on other parts of life. You'll be feeling life intensely. Because when we work hard on something that's important, we're engaged in life. Yes. Suddenly it feels like life matters. Suddenly it feels like we're dedicating our time and our energy to something that is important. This isn't a form of numbing. I'm not saying work hard so that you numb yourself. I'm saying focus on important things that will give you a sense of progress, which is the opposite of numbing. It'll actually make you feel alive. And when you feel alive, you feel a sense of possibility again. And when you feel a sense of possibility again, you just might be able to get yourself to a place where you see where things could go in your love life again. Every time I have ever been in a place of heartbreak, what fixes it is not going on another holiday. It's not trying to just escape. It's not just spending as much time with friends and family as possible, because all of those things work for a little bit until you're alone again and you don't feel like your life's moving forward. And I see this as the great equalizer, the great leveler, because if you know someone who's heartbroken, you won't get them over it by simply taking them on holiday, by giving them nice things, by buying them presents. You can give someone a life of luxury, you can give them all the money in the world, it won't solve their heartache. So even though you can be on holiday with your friends and your family, and you can feel a sense of distraction, even love, real love from people that care about you, it still doesn't necessarily give you that feeling of progress. Right. So here's my task to you right now. Find something in your life today that you know is somehow important to you, and focus on that, even if just for an hour, and notice the feeling you get at the end of that hour, and how it may not eliminate all of your heartache at once. Let's be realists, we're not going to do this overnight, but the sense of satisfaction and achievement and confidence that you get will change the intensity of the feeling of heartache, and it just might make you see how bright the world can be. And if you can't think of something that gives you ultimate purpose right now, because again, let's be real, not all of us have something immediately that we say, this is my life's passion, this is the thing I want to focus on in my life, this is the thing that gives me purpose. Not everyone has that. Okay, start small. You know, instead of going and getting drunk tonight, go find a class at the gym that makes you feel a sense of progress because you've worked on your body and you've made yourself feel good at the end of it. Do something that is going to make you feel good. Even the gym, it may not be your life's purpose, but you can tie it perhaps to something that's important, like looking after your body, like having energy for your bigger goals. You can still tie it to something important. And when you do, when you have that little bit of progress, it starts the ball rolling and you could get momentum. So that's it. If you are suffering right now, I know how hard that is. I know just how brutal it is to be in that kind of pain. There's almost nothing like it. You know, we can get health problems, we can, you know, our family can get sick or get injured, and that just about tops everything. But right underneath that is heartache. And it's really, really hard. And no one should ever diminish that or lessen it or make light of it, because it is truly, truly difficult. If one of the most important things in life is love, then suffering because of love is clearly going to be one of the most painful things in life. But we're in this together, we're a team. And I promise you, what I'm saying in this video today is not just a platitude. It's not just me saying something that is supposed to make you feel better when in reality it won't do the job. I really, really believe this. So commit to it. I know you don't want to right now. I know you probably don't want to do anything right now. But commit to it. Focus on something that's important. and allow it to give your life meaning and to show you just how bright the world can actually be when we're in a good place.
Do you actually understand now why I love this man? I ran into him. He was on vacation. He's up here, and that's a beautiful thing. Again, how did I meet Matthew? Well, Facebook is a beautiful thing. And I was talking to him when I met up with him, and we actually talked, and he gave me his email address, and I sent him an email, and along with my phone number. And would you believe he actually calls, and the man is amazing. He's totally amazing. And these are the type of people that you need to surround yourself with: people who are positive, people who can give you useful. And let me spell that for you: USEFUL, useful information. The man is totally positive, and like I said, a man is supposed to be the teacher. And when you have a man who's a teacher like Trent and Matthew and Derek, these are the men that I've been associating myself with and I've been talking to on a regular basis. You know, as I told you in my previous videos, I'm newly divorced and I have to get past all that. I'm trying to grow and be a better person. And everything that Matthew said here today is absolutely true. You know, it's more than just being distracted. It's about making progress. So what I'm doing right now is I am writing 3 books, and I'm doing these YouTube channels here, which is fun. And I'm also doing a lot of research in terms of furthering and how you say growing in my profession. Like I said, I work with the legislature, and I'm doing a lot to work towards a promotion in my department that I'm working in, which is bill drafting. I'm an editor for bill drafting, and I'm working towards progress. It's not about just sleeping around with different people or dating different people or hanging out with family members and blah, blah, blah. Because, as Matthew made it very clear, after all that's said and done and you sit in the room by yourself and you're alone, you still feel lonely. But you don't feel that. I assure you, you don't feel that when you realize that you've made so much progress. He says progress. Progress. That's the England accent. Love it. He could talk to me all day. But when you're making progress in your life, you pick something that you want to excel at, it's a beautiful thing, you know? I think about my son. He's amazing. My daughter, she's mind blowing. She's accelerating in her spirituality. My son, the guy is amazing. He's an author. He's got his master's. He's got his LSBSW, whatever that is. My daughter, she's in the field. She's a registered nurse. And her main life goal is into helping people. That's what she cares about. Is building people up spiritually, and, you know, where people feel that they don't have any hope. She shows them that there is hope. My son, he talks people off of cliffs from jumping. They're ready to slit their wrist and all the above, if you will. He's a counselor. He's a life coach. He's a social worker. He is working on his spirituality, and God knows he will get there. My daughter, this girl is just mind-blowing. She's mind-blowing. She really is. Um, Upon that note, I'm going to say toodles. We'll talk again, as you know we will. And anytime you need some encouragement, check out the rest of my, how you say, topics on my channel. I'm there for you, darling. I am working towards being a life coach. I hope that I can be motivational, inspirational for you. That's all I care about, really. At this point, it's called, like he said, being progressive. I love you. We'll talk again.